One of the big hits in gaming this year came out of South Korea from developers Shift Up, and that was, of course, Stellar Blade, dominating a lot of the gaming conversation in the early part of the year. When the game eventually did come out, it kind of delivered in certain aspects. It's not Souls-like stuff is not really my cup of tea. I wasn't a fan of the music, but a lot of people were, and a lot of people are fans of that genre. And yeah, for the people who played it, they enjoyed it. That and other aspects of the game that kept it going, and also led to a PC release that is coming out in very short order. What is it? The end of January it's coming out, and then of course a big crossover with one of its gigantic inspirations in Nier Automata, showing that there very much is legs to this IP if Shift Up wants to make it a franchise, and that could definitely be a winning strategy. I think that there's enough good in that initial release that could lend itself to a very successful franchise of its own. Or, of course, Shift Up could be using Eve as their own 2B, shipping her out different games to raise their own profile before they decide to go ahead with Stellar Blade 2, like what they're doing right here, crossing it over with their other incredibly successful game, Goddess of Victory Nikke. Eve set to trade her sword for a rifle, as Shift Up announces upcoming crossover between Stellar Blade and Goddess of Victory Nikke, in a move that will ensure alien threats think twice before invading Earth. The developer Shift Up, that's a strange way of spelling it, has announced that Eve, the sword-slinging protagonist of their action-adventure hit Stellar Blade, will soon be joining forces with Goddess of Victory Nikke, titular gun-wielding heroines, in their fight against the Rapture. That means something to people who play the game. I have no idea. The upcoming crossover between Korea-based studios' two biggest titles was revealed on December 23rd. Oh, by way of a rather short teaser trailer wherein Eve is clad in her standard green and white nanosuit is shown literally crashing into the world of Goddess of Victory Nikke, in the process of driving her blood-edged sword through the head of a crawler-type Rapture unit and disabling it, only to find herself face-to-face with its backup, a striker and salver unit. Alright, those are a bunch of proper nouns that I have no idea what exactly they mean. Unfortunately, while the trailer was heavy on hype, it was void on any specific details regarding the collaboration's start date or its event structure. As such, fans will sadly have to wait until a little bit later until they get information on the crossover event or what Eve's in-game model is going to look like. But given the fact that Shift Up is working on this, it's all their IP here, she's probably going to retain most of her attributes, if you know what I mean. Because looking at the art style of Nikke, I mean, she fits in there perfectly, right? For those unfamiliar, Goddess of Victory Nikke is a sci-fi mobile shooter in which players control a squad of female android soldiers known as Nikkes, each of whom possess their own unique firearms, combat skills, and abilities as they take to the battlefields of the post-apocalyptic Earth to defend the last surviving vestiges of humanity against the force of mechanical alien invaders known as Raptures. Well, that sounds all fun and well and good, right? At its core, Nikke is a gacha game requiring players to engage with a mechanic in order to obtain new Nikkes to add to their army. Yeah, I literally don't care about this stuff at all. All of this, super gamey gotcha crap. I know it has its audience. I know people really like it. It's just, I need something a little bit more substantive in my game, okay? Outside of just, pixelated craziness like that. I appreciate it. It's just never going to drive me to a game. Naturally, said gacha systems use in-game currency, which can be earned through gameplay or purchased via microtransactions and all that crap, blah, blah, blah. Of course, gacha games, hosting collaborations with other media, such as anime or video games, is nothing new. And yeah, of course, Goddess of Victory, also teaming up with Evangelion makes total sense there. And we would all have to think that we're going to be getting some kind of an update as to what Eve is going to be doing in the near future, because we know that Stellar Blade and Shift Up definitely want to strike while the iron is hot on Eve. And in order to keep that conversation going into the new year, they were definitely doing that. And this is why it still has good word of mouth months after its release, because with each incremental update, they continue to do fun stuff like Stellar Blade's Christmas present locations. They're doing little events in the game to get you to come back to it. Now, I don't know if there's microtransactions attached to it. I kind of doubt that, given its single player nature. But just little thank yous to the fan base that supported the game, that gutted its PC release, gutted its big crossover with Nier Automata, making Eve a very marketable character. Doing these little things, well, it's a hell of a good thing. to be completely honest. And yeah, you had Stellar Blade's holiday update, bringing all manner of Christmas themes cosmetics for Eve, Adam, and the drone. But you'll need to know where to find Eve's Santa dress and locate every Zion present. Oh, look at that. See, because you can be 2B, because I guess that's already taken place, right? You got all of those costumes available. You got the Christmas tree down there. You can get Eve's Santa dress that's very scantily clad, and then, of course, the Rudolph pack for your little drone. I might sound a little condescending, but honestly, I like all of that crap. I mean, still, look in the background, even though I'm going to be taking it down soon, and I hate that very, very much. I love Christmas. I love when other things celebrate Christmas, when you have holiday-themed events in games. I do like a little bit of the fourth wall breaking stuff. And so, yeah, even if it's a game that it's, I don't know, maybe PC or something like that, maybe if it gets deeply, deeply, deeply discounted in a couple years' time on PS5, I might play it. It's just, like I said, Soulslikes, they aren't really my thing. And I'm definitely turning off that music. I can't stand Asian chicks yodeling over the top of some string quartet. It's not my thing. Not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not my thing. But even with the new aesthetics, as you can see right here, okay, there's a good art style. It translates over to Goddess of Victory Nikke very well. It was a big selling point for Stellar Blade, on top of the very solid gameplay from what I hear and from what I've seen. And as such, throughout this year, we have been subject to quite a lot of fan art, if you will. And now towards the end of the year, as there are many more opportunities for Eve to cross over and lend some of the goodwill that Shift Up has indentured itself to throughout the year for fighting back against censorship, maybe potentially, who knows, and then walking it back later. They fought a valiant fight this year, okay? And it was one of those make good stories coming out of gaming in 2024 when the year was, oh boy, it was a desolate wasteland of quality releases. But while the guys over at Shift Up have been out there palling around with different developers, there's one studio that they've been shacking up with that is, they're desperately in need of some good publicity, especially after one recent announcement. So trying to get some sort of positive attention by leeching off of one of the more successful stories of 2024 totally makes sense. And yeah, releasing some fan art drawn in the style or the taste of your studio, I mean, it's a popular tactic and it's definitely been done before to great success. I'm just saying, if this is going to be coming from somebody who's affiliated with your studio very closely, you would want to have it done a little bit better, because I look at this and it's like, you tell me that it's fan art and I'm just going to go, oh, okay, cool. Hopefully they don't quit their day job. But when you're telling me that this is fan art from Nam Hung Daek, principal character concept designer at Naughty Dog, principal character concept designer, an amazing illustration of Eve. I mean, we know what Naughty Dog creates for characters, especially when it comes to female ones, and well, their shoulder width normally rivals mine, but what's wrong with her hips? What's wrong with her shoulders? But what's wrong with her face? Oh god, and that's what everybody's been focusing in on, justifiably so. I mean, as Learning the Law has pointed out, of course, no one can't take a vacation after Christmas, thanks to Naughty Dog turning Eve into an angry... I don't really know, man. I just think that it's really bad art, okay, because there it is, zoomed up on the face, and then, of course, an in-game model right there, where, yeah, it's a very attractive video game player. Or a character, rather. It's not going to make me a player of the game at all whatsoever. I'm just saying, they did a really bad job. Because recently, like, I think Sunday or something like that, there's another picture that got released, and this guy's just, I don't know, man, is not really my cup of tea. I don't like the art style. I think he's kind of a hack. But yes, artist Nam Hyung Taek has once again drawn Eve for us. We're very grateful for this, and we always welcome fan art in the style of the previous one. It's not uncommon for fan art to have more of the artist style than the original, and we think that it's very important and an enjoyable point. It's been a rough year in 2024, not for you guys, not just in Korea. Oh yeah, South Korea when it comes to things that are not video game related. Yeah, very, very tough year in South Korea. How many presidents are we working on? Anyways, but around the world, yes, we hope everyone is living in love. Funny how they don't want to name check Naughty Dog this time around, given how close they have been with them, which is a big red flag, which I've had several when it comes to Shift Up. I mean, they're mixed messages that a lot of people want to go ahead and overlook just for the sake of, oh, look at Eve, she's got ass and titties. It's like, you simps trying to excuse really bad behavior and incredibly poor practices is going to lead to another downfall in gaming. But at the time that the Western industry is burning so loud, so bright, and so quickly, the East looks a lot better in comparison, even though there are some warts forming, to be certain. Everybody giving deference to commies because they can make some fun games, or not closely paying attention to what Japanese studios are doing. It's all tough, and if things aren't properly gatekept in 2025 and moving forward, short forehead Eve is going to be the least of our concerns. PU. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.